Good evening, all, for managing your time and attending the session. I hope you can all hear me clearly, and also you can see my screen. So today we will discuss about the XM Cloud component builder, and our agenda will be we will introduce ourselves. Um, then we will discuss about some overview of XM Cloud. We'll discuss about the different types of components available in XM Cloud. Then we will um, deep dive into the XM Cloud component builder, which we can use how to create the components without doing a single line of coding. And what are the key benefits of those things, that component builder? And also we'll show you a short demo, a small demo, where we'll try to create a component using the component builder, and we'll use that into the page. And then we'll have the question answer session. If you have any question, we can discuss that. So over to you, Rohan. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hey, thanks, Koushik. Again, yeah, I would like to thank SUG Bangalore and Anita for organizing this webinar and want to thank you all for taking out time. And it's a Friday evening. I understand that everybody has work, but still taking out time and attending us to go through the XM Cloud. We'll try to make sure that it's more knowledgeable and you get the information that you need on this topic. So I'm Rohan Damodar Kenkre, been a four-time MVP till now, currently in a role as a technical director at Texot. I like to share my thoughts on Sitecore diaries.org, where I write kind of a short notes, quick wins, tricks, and tips regarding in the Sitecore. And you have my links for LinkedIn and Twitter if you want to reach out and increase the network. And if you have any question, I will be happy to guide you on those. Over to you, Kaushik.
Thank you, Rohan. Thank you. Myself, Koushik Mukherjee. I am the site code lead in LNG Consultancy. I'm a site code 10 and XM Cloud certified developer. I do a blog post in koushikmukherjee83.blogspot.com, and you can also follow me, or we can connect over LinkedIn and Twitter using this link. So let's start the XM Cloud overview. Rohan, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Kaushik. So before we jump into XM Cloud, right, I just want to take a step back, and I think everyone over here, if you are new or if you've been in working in Sitecore for a while, you know that Sitecore is famous for its XM or XP, right, where we call it as experience platform. So everyone might have worked on different versions of Sitecore experience platform. So over the years, if you have seen, all the DXPs have started giving their SaaS offering, right? Service, software as a service. And that's where Sitecore came up with this product. They tried Content Hub 1, but which was very specific to creating the blog or article site, or very not till the level where in the XPs where you can create the pages, edit it using experience editor, create the custom components. So the level of customizations that you're able to do in XM XP, that was not possible on Content Hub. The XM Cloud roadmap is somewhere you can see if you break the XP into XM and XDB, right? So they have just taken out the XM piece, tried to make it as a SaaS offering, which is known as XM Cloud now. And every release that you see, they're trying to make it more and more customizable, or they're trying to release the components that are widely used. If the use cases are so often, they try to integrate it. And as well, they're trying to give us the plugin connectors where we can do custom development or inject our own components, that we will try to study today. So the overview that we are thinking of is Sitecore. You already know that Sitecore is a leader in content management system, and XM Cloud, as I said, is a SaaS offering from Sitecore, right? With that said, right, to use it as a XP, you will need to have a good understanding of composable, where you'll be able to connect it with different Sitecore products like Sitecore Personalize or Sitecore Connect or Sitecore Search to get more over the website out. Okay. So that's the overview. Can you switch now? Next, we will try to understand the types of components in XM Cloud. So this is like, if you have some idea of SXA, this will be very beneficial to understand. But there are a couple of types of components that we get in XM Cloud. So the first is out of the box components, right? So this is pre-configured components provided by Sitecore that require minimal setup. This include basic functionality like forms, the screenshot that you can say, like forms, navigation, content rendering elements. So the component that will be a very basic one and you will need it to create a site, right? So those are given as out of the box component. Now there is a slide, like Kaushik will give us a demo where you will be able to see uh, how you can use the styling and everything, but the components remains the same. Yeah, Kaushik, you can go to the next one. Then you have Sitecore components. So this will be kind of a demo that Kaushik will be giving us today. This is a custom component developed specifically using Sitecore framework and platform capabilities, right? So XM Cloud gives you a framework where you can go and create your component, modify it as is. You can change its presentation, use the grids and everything. So that are known as Sitecore component. This can be tailored to meet specific content management or experience delivery needs. So if you have a Figma design and if you want to do that, that's possible. Yeah. Kaushik, can you go ahead? So SXA components, this will take some, like the first two that I said, right? So those can be done by the business users if they have, like, I'll not say only business users, either business users or the designers who has a good knowledge of bootstrap grids, or like they understand what is 12 column and everything. So you will be able to do that. Like, not only you need a developer, but this SXA components is something you will need a developer, because we already know how complicated SXA is, right? So here you can create reusable and pre-built component that accelerate the website development and enable drag and drop. So it's like how you have seen in experience editor, you can drag and drop. There is something called component builder as well, where you will be able to do that. So that is another interface introduced in XM Cloud. So enabling drag and drop capabilities for layout and design without needing any technical expertise. So you will be developing this as a developer, but then a business user don't need to know what you have done. They will be directly going on what you see is what you get editor, and they will try to drag and drop these components. And last but not least, they have introduced something called bring your own components, right? So we call it BYOC components. Now, this is something that I was talking initially, right? So you can inject your components in. So if anyone has an experience of SharePoint online, or like how, like low code, no code frameworks, right? So what they do is they try to give you as much customization as you can using their component. But let's say you are not able to achieve, like the use case is such that you cannot achieve it using those existing components, then you introduce something called front end as a service, and then you can register your own components. Now this can be a React component or something that you introduce it to, right? So this will be custom built components typically developed by external developers or team. When I say external developers or team, it might be like if we have a project, we will be an external team than the Sitecore, right? As an implementation partner for the client. And this can be integrated into XM Cloud to meet specific functional or design requirements beyond what's offered by default. So from here, I'll just hand it over to Kaushik to walk us through and share a good demo to just go through all the things that we just discussed.
Thank you, Ron. We discuss about the different kinds of components those are available in XM Cloud. So two most popular one is the component builder, which a designer or organizer, even a developer, can create a component, be some basic components, simple components without doing a single line of coding. And another one is the SXA one, which developer most of the time they use. So our topic is mainly based on this XM Cloud component builder. So in the component builder, what are the key benefits of using the component builder to create a component? So there are some benefits of this. First one is that enhanced design system. So what you can do is that you can design your own component as per your project or website need. You can maintain the branding like font, color, everything into the component builder, and you can make it a consistency throughout the site. So, and this design can be responsive design also. I mean, for the different screen size, I'll show you how. For the different screen size, you can create different design. Maybe for desktop version, for mobile version, and for tab version, you can have different kind of design. So that can be maintained using it. Next is API first approach. The thing is that the component is actually not dependent on any kind of data source. First, you create the component, and while creating and the data source is basically, it can be from a different source. I mean, maybe API or Sitecore CMS. So there is, you have the flexibility that you first create your component with the static data, and you see how it is behaving, how it is showing, and then you can manage the data source also. Next is low code or no code approach. I must say it's a no code approach. I mean, from while doing the component builder. So you can build a component by just drag and dropping some elements, which are inbuilt element provided by XM Cloud, that you can use there, and you can create a component without doing a single line of code. You can set the data source, you can manage the design and everything over there. You can create different versions also of that particular component. So, and finally, the flexibility of the data source. I mean, the data source can be the CMS. I mean, the XM Cloud CMS, from where you can get the data. Apart from that, you can have API also, REST API. You can have GraphQL or static JSON. I mean, there can be multiple types of data source. I'll show you that also into the demo section. The different kind of data source can be used for those components. Well, if we create those components from the component builder. So these are some of the key benefits of the component builder. Next, we will start the demo of the component builder. So let me go to the Sitecore Cloud Portal. Let me just open it. I hope you can see the Cloud Portal screen. It is shared. So
Yep.
I logged in into the, yeah, I logged in into the Sitecore Cloud.io, portal.sitecodecloud.io, and from there, I for the demo purpose, I created same cloud development project where I have these sites, tutorial sites, and just refreshing. You can have multiple sites that I have. You have some basic idea about the same cloud, how we can create sites and all. So I directly go to the component section. So XM Cloud recently introduced or recently changed the menu, the top menu. So currently the component builder is under the design library. So from the design library, if you click on components, you will land the component builder page. Please note that the component you are creating, that is not for a specific site. You can use it in multiple sites also, because see, it is not dependent on the tutorial site. You can have multiple sites here, and components is you can share the component in different sites. So this is the landing page for the component builder, where you will see the components, list of components that are created using the component builder. Then you have the style section, from where you can manage the styling and branding of the component. You have the data source section, from where you can manage the different data sources, and then publishings and some basic settings of component builder. So main three component, styling and data source, which we will use. So for the demo purpose, I already created a component for the demo. So see, this one is created. So it is always recommended that we create a collection before we create a component. Why? Just to manage it properly. You can have hundreds of components in a site, so it's better to put everything categorized. So you can categorize this component using the collection. So I created a collection SUG Bangalore. Previously I created collection for custom, something like that. So let me go to the component that I created for demo purpose. See, this is a component I created demo parts of a static component. The data are static data. How I created? I mean, whenever you come to the component builder, you will get a option like this. See, this structure you will get a structure like this. Now this is called a section. You have the version name. You can change the version name also. You can provide a different name. Let's say I provide this as mobile. You can change the version name. Now see, this is the structure where you can create this component. You have the option that for which screen size you are creating this version of component. See, by default it is selected all screen size: extra large, extra large, large, medium, small, extra small. So let me just select small and extra small and show this as a mobile version. So it will show like that. You can select all also. So you can have different version for different screen resolution for responsive design, or you can have a single, I mean, whatever version you want you can create from here as for the screen resolution. The next is this area where you will actually create the component, that is called section. Within the section you can add elements. See, these are the elements provided by XM Cloud. You have block elements like section, cards, images. You have text element where you can add some text like paragraph, headings, list item. You can have inline elements. These are actually some buttons or links. These things, and some external element, that is component that was actually created for external purpose. I mean, we can create our own elements also. So this I will not show here because that is not for the demo purpose right now. So the block, text, and the inline elements, these three we will use. So let's say I want to add one image here. So I just click on image and append inside. So it will append the image inside the section. See, the image is there. Now the image is selected. Now if I click outside, then it is showing that the section is selected. Now what I can do, I can actually put one other element to add some text. Let's say I put a card here. Within the card I will manage the text and all. Block card. Yes. Okay. Now let me add. Now let me add heading. Say this three. You can put the title here. Now I can add, say, paragraph or text I want to add here. And inside, so here I can put this is text. This paragraph you can add just like I added here in this section. You can see the paragraph are added. So this is how you can add different elements here. Some heading, paragraph. Let's say you want to add a link. You can append this over here, the new link. Read more. So these are the link. Now whenever you are adding these or images, these are by default image, it is showing by default. It you put some text over there. Now you can change the text and the image also. So how you can do it? In the right hand side section you can see there are some properties showing over here. Let's say for the image, if you're selecting the image, You can provide the image sizing, image spacing. Here you can see the image source, which is right now empty. So what you can do, you can change it. You can change it. You can upload one image. Let's say this one I want to add. So you are uploading one image. So I'm adding a static image into it. It is not manageable from CMS. I'm adding it from the component builder. So see, this version I created, this is actually a static version. One image, title, description, and link. Now we can actually change it to the dynamic version. This is the static version thing. So text are static, we cannot manage it from the CMS. So let's say I want to add a data source. Basically, in the real life project, you need to fetch the data from the data source. So first consider that XM Cloud CMS as a data source. So for that, what we actually need to do, we need to, in normally XP also we do the same thing. So let me go to the content editor. You will see a familiar same structure that we have in the XP also. How I can land to the content editor? If I go to XM Cloud portal, here you have the option for the content editor. You click on that, you will land here in the content editor section. Now in the content editor section, you have you need to go to your site. For me it is tutorial site. This one, tutorial site. This is a site I created. Now for to create a data source, what I need to do, you need to create a template. Simple thing, you all can understand. Normally what we do, we create the template. Let's say I created a template for the demo, that is feature template. Title, description, link, and photo. We have a single line, multi-line, a general link, and image, like the XP, same one. Once I created that, the next important thing we need to do is we need to go to the site where we want to use this template as a data source template. So for the tutorial site, I want to use it. So I need to go to the settings under the tutorial site. Once the template is created, in the settings, we have one option that is called front end as a service. Just a minute, let me settings. Here, front end as a service component data source template. So please note, this is very important. You must need to add your template. You must need to select your template if you want to use those template content as a data source of the in a component builder component. So you must need to select this. So I selected this feature webinar, which I added as a which I want to add as a data source template for the component builder. Now once I did that, I created a data also using that template. And the data you can see for SUG Bangalore. To save some time, I just created this content over there using this feature webinar template, the title, description, link, and the image. A different image I used here so that you can understand it properly. Now this is also created. So what we did, we created a template. We assigned that template as a data source template for the component builder component, and then we created one item using that template. Now let me come again to the component builder. So once I did that, if I select this image, and I can see the source is static. Now I want to make the source as dynamic. Then I need to click map. So I want to map it with a um, component. Oh, sorry, with a template field. So the template I create, that is called feature webinar. So I click on that. Next, say I put that href. No, source, photo source as the image. See, it is showing the image over here, complete. So this is now a source, not a static one. Same thing we can do if we go to the heading section. In the heading, we have text, that is a static one. We can map it. Let's say with the title. Title, yes. See, welcome to the Sitecore user group, Kolkata. Uh, Next is we can put this description also there. Change it, mapped it with the description. See, that is. You can set the link also. This is how you can manage the dynamic data from the XM Cloud CMS. The next important thing is that whenever you create a version or a component, and if you want to update it, it will not reflect into the site or into the pages until and unless you stage it, or if you edit it, you restage it. It will not reflect. So this is also a very important thing, that whenever you make any change, you want that into the pages, Sitecore pages, to use and drag and drop there. You must need to restage it or stage it, otherwise it will not show over there. So I restage one specific version. So this component I created. How I can manage the styling of the component? To manage the styling of the component, you need to go to the style section. In the style section, you can see there are different things that is called fonts, color, graphics, breakpoints. So what you can do, you can use these default fonts, or you can add the font as per your requirement, as per your website requirement, or to maintain the same branding. So you can choose Google font. You can create your custom CMS also. So that is as per your branding. You can choose here. So that will add the fonts you want to use here. So if whenever you select a font, let me just try to select in any font. See, the font weight, available font weight will also show there. Available font weights are showing there. So here you can see that different font weights are showing over there. So as per your need, you can use that. Next is the color. Same thing. Whatever color you want to show, you want to see as the base color, primary color, secondary color, you can add. You can add the color over here. You need to put the color name. Here also the collection is there, so that you can manage the grouping or categorize the color, and you can type the hex code, opacity, everything for a specific color you can add. So any color you need, you can add over here as per your branding. Next important thing is the breakpoint. See, we have whenever we are creating the component, we usually select the large, medium, small, and there are different options like extra large, large, medium, small, extra small. So I hope you can remember, whenever we're creating a version, we are selecting the size, the screen size. So those are actually managed from here. If you have a different, if you want to use different screen resolution, want to add a different screen size, you can add from here, from the breakpoints. That will work. You can create your own custom breakpoint. Next is the typographics. Same thing, the typographics also you can add your own typographics. That is the detail. You need to provide a name, let's say taste collection, let it be in the custom. See the font. So you can choose the font from here, which font you want to use. Settings, the font size, line height, icon size, that you can use here. As well as if you do not want to use any Google font, you want to use your own custom CSS, you can do from here. So same thing is for the field section. You can add field color, different kind of field color. These two I added, custom one. So there also you can provide the color name, detail in the detail section, color name, the collection. See the class name also, that you can use I mean, if you want to do any work using the class name into the JSS, that also into the JS, that also you can do from here. So the color name, and the color, how it will be, the solid or the gradient, what will be the effect of the color, opacity, blur. Even if you want to add some custom CSS for that color, you can add from here. So all flexibilities are there. Same is for the spacing. So this is one is very important. Suppose you want to add some spacing for, let's say, blocks. You are using some blocks, some section or block. So you can add the spacing between two blocks. What will be the space between two blocks? The padding, mainly the padding section, upper padding, lower padding, right and left padding. How it should show into the site. So once all these done, font, color, breakpoints, spacing and all, then you can go to the elements. So the basics are done, rules are created. Now you can go to the elements. So for a specific element, you can add those rules and I mean the basic data and rules. Let's say if I go to the dark, you can see the typography, it is selected here. Text color, you can select from the color, whatever color you choose. Custom CSS are there. So these are the details things, so that you can use for the text purpose. Same is for the inline one. Inline one means the button, the links, that you can add those colors you added here, and different kind of typographics, and the fonts. Same is for the blocks also. I mean, section, cards and all. So see, so now what you said, you said basics, you said rules, you said the elements, text, inline and block. Now once you said that, then what you can do, you can create your theme for your website. Instead of adding color, font, spacing, fill color for each and every component, you can just create your theme and you can assign that theme to the component builder, so that it can manage the same branding for your website. So you can create a theme. If you want to create a theme, let's say you want to create a theme, I provide a theme name. Then you can select the block list, the section you want to add, card you want to add, inline elements. Inline elements you created, that styling for the inline elements you can add here. So styling you created for the button, you can add here, and text element. So what you can do, you can create a theme for your website. Now in the component, if you go to a component, in the component builder, and you select the image, here you select the styling. See the styling, the card style I use here, that is the light one. So I can select the styling, I can select the card style as light, I can change it. This is the default one selected. I can change it from here. I can change the fill, color and all. So all these can be managed from the styling section. And finally, the main important thing is the data source. So if I add a template, so it will, and I added that into the front end as a service template section. I selected that, it will appear here. Fields and the template will appear here. So these are the data source created from the CMS. Now you want to add other data source also, as we discussed in the PPT, that we can create different kind of data source. Let's say static JSON. You can add some static JSON and use that as a data source. If you want to fetch some data from API, from REST API, so that also you can do. You can provide the type, creator, post, the URL and the header, or the parameter and header for the authentication purpose. you can add over here, and it is also you can add authentication, so that's it is secure also. So you can create the data source for external data source from here. And another data source you can create, sorry I closed it, that is GraphQL. So here also the same thing, you can add the query, you can add header, parameters, and query here. And here is the GraphQL URL. So it will show you the data. So you can add different kind of data source. These are the CMS data source which we created, template, data source template, which we added for FEAAS template section, and rest you can create other data sources. So now once your component is created and it is staged, you can use that component into the um, page. So what is page I'm referring here? That is the page builder for the site. So where actually we create the page for a site. So let me try to open it. See, for the tutorial site, I created some basic pages over there. So let me just delete this. This one I created for the testing purpose. I'm sorry, it's getting slow. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, my system got hanged actually. Give me a minute, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. I hope you can see my screen. So see into the create page section. If I go come to the pages, there is the pages. We have home, about us, article, and if I click on the components, we have the option here components. So there you will see the collection we have different collection, and for the SUG Bangalore we have these things, video, image, and all. So you can just drag and drop this into the main component. You can assign the data source. SUG Bangalore, assign it. It is showing over here. I'm not sure why the image is not showing. Maybe showing here but not here. Uh, I need to check it once. We'll check it, but here actually we should show the image. If we upload it into the content editor, it should show the image as it is showing the text also. See the here it is showing SUG Bangalore text because we have different text here. That by default it was showing the Kolkata text. So now I added the different data source when I'm adding it into the page. So that's why it is showing the SUG Bangalore text here. So it should show the image. I'm not sure why it is not showing right now. Maybe some caching issue or so. As I usually update it every day, so maybe it's some caching issue. That's why it is not showing. But this is how you can add the component and you can use that component into the page, and you can view that page here. You can update the design. I mean the design is not looking good because I'm not using any styling here. So but you can add the styling as I informed you. You can also, if you want to get some more detail about the styling, how you can add style, how you can use those, you can go to my blog also. I have some blogs there in the Custom Cloud, where you can create, how you can create the components, how you can add those styling into those components. So those I try to maintain as detail as possible there. So please go through that. So I believe that's all for the today demo. Do you please let me know if you have any question?